Today we're using 1/2-inch interlocking foam gym mats that I picked up on Amazon. Now this is a very popular mod for a few reasons. One, it makes the bottom of the boat much quieter when you drop gear for the fish, and two, it keeps my feet and other gear dry as the water will pool under the mats and make its way to the stern. Finally, it looks awesome and is easy to do and very comfortable on your feet. Just lay out the mats one by one and adjust the trim pieces on the very edges to line up for a more flush look. You'll be cutting out sections of the mat on the bow near the rod holders and the stern around the battery tray. I just kinda eyeballed it and I didn't have my X-Acto knife with me that day, but it's good enough for now. This part is pretty straightforward, and you'll have plenty of interlocking foam mats to spare if you botch one or need to replace one down the road. Easiest mod for anyone to do. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'll keep playing some footage of me installing it because the main event of today's video is going to be that snow Camo EVA foam that looks just so good. So wherever you're looking to place your foam, just simply measure it and cut it out of the block that you'll buy on Amazon. Now to prep the surface, what you want to do is clean it with some isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Just clean it somehow, and if you have the option, get some sandpaper and etch it. You're going to want to lay some spray adhesive. Do kind of a decent amount, because you see, the adhesive backing that comes on this foam is simply not strong enough just for the plastic on this boat. Even if you're attaching it to an aluminum john or whatever you might be doing, just go ahead and invest in that cheap little can and it'll make it a lot more sturdy. Now as you can see, the measurements seem to be pretty exact, however all the curves I basically just eyeballed. It's really easy to do if you just put it up to where you need it to go and cut it out with an X-Acto knife. But make sure you apply even pressure all the way throughout so that way there's no bubbles or wrinkles or anything like that. I like to put down one piece, lay it as I smoothly pull the adhesive backing off of the piece of foam, and then just lay it right down. Now, this stuff has been lasting on my boat quite a while, but in the first 24 to 48 hours, I had a couple corners that came up. All I did was I peeled it back about an inch from where it started curling. I would spray more adhesive foam, I would lay it down and set my anchor on it. And to this day, I've had this for maybe a month with all these mods on it, and it's never came back up. So I will say with the interlocking foam mats on the floor, I did decide to go ahead and spray a bunch of that adhesive on the floor and on the back of the mats, just so it has a little bit more stick when I'm trailering my boat down the highway. Now, all of this stuff is pretty durable and you don't really have to worry about it falling out, but I would maybe give it, like I said, 1 to 2 days, see what areas are curling up, fix those areas, let it sit with something heavy on it, and call it a day. It's good, this stuff isn't going anywhere. In fact, if I wanted to get this off my boat, I'm not really sure it would be that easy. In fact, now that it's plastic, it's probably on there forever. I went ahead and did the battery tray just because it looks extra nice and, why not? I had some extras. Now, the tricky part on my particular boat is going to be those rod holders. But let's take a minute and look at our work so far. now a word from today's sponsor.
Thank you to EmpireDigest.com. They help regular people build and grow thriving online businesses so they can live their best life possible. They are part of an elite community of highly successful internet entrepreneurs on a mission to help regular everyday people break free from mediocrity and create the best life possible. Sounds similar to this channel. They're doing this by helping you start and grow highly successful, location-independent online businesses that provide unlimited income potential and time freedom, and the ability to turn your dreams into reality faster than anything else that you've tried.
Take advantage right now by clicking the first link in my description. Okay, so the rod holders. I just prepped it the exact same way, except I forgot my isopropyl alcohol, so I actually use this little hack sometimes when I'm cleaning some of the furniture I own, is just to pull out some packing tape and then really get it into the cracks and crevices of whatever you need to pull the dust particles out to maximize bonding. Just go ahead and do that. You can see I've got quite a bit of dust under that rod holder. But this method is basically just gonna clean it out as best I can without rubbing alcohol. And then I'm gonna lay the pre-cut piece on top of it and basically eyeball it with an X-Acto knife. That ended up breaking, so I had to use a razor blade. I got it done, but take a look. So for me and my boat, I realized that this was not a very clean cut. So my idea was to unscrew the factory rod holders, lift them up about 1/4 of an inch, slip the foam as much as I can underneath it to make it really look clean and flush. Now we're just going to do the same method, spraying the same stuff, laying it the same way. And once you first place it, you've got a couple seconds of wiggle room. But I would really advise against placing it, pulling it back off, and putting it back down. You're probably just going to rip it if you've prepped everything and it grips right. So once it's down, you got to move quick, baby, because time is not on your side with these adhesive sprays and backings. This is actually where I sliced myself and I cut myself a handful of times and I ended up bleeding all over the boat and had to clean it up. But good news is that blood from fish or humans will not stain your new foam. The last couple minutes of today's video is just going to be some footage of me actually using the boat with the mods.